All right, good morning everybody. This is Coach Steve, and today we are going to do a 9 exercise 3-round routine. It's all going to be body weight. We'll manipulate your body in a bunch of different ways. I'll give you a bunch of different regressions and progressions for some of the exercises that we'll be doing today. So we'll begin with a warm-up, just a little mobility warm-up. We'll do the exercise routine and then we'll stretch at the end. The only thing that you'll need is a mat or somewhere safe that you can get on the ground, up and down off the ground, and maybe some water. All right, so let's go ahead and get our legs a little further in hip distance. Let's go ahead and turn side to side, really warm up the spine. Get the ankles involved too. You can see I'm really turning my ankles. So go ahead and activate your ankles and those muscles and ligaments around your ankles. Get a full twist or warming up the spine, warming up the shoulders. All right, excellent. Let's go back to center. Just drop it down. You can go all the way to the ground if you're able to. Reach it up. Touch the ground, reach it up. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to celebrate those little wins. You're here today. So that's awesome. That's a win. And you can use this exercise routine for a multitude of different things. You can use it for movement. You can use it for strength training. You can use this for HIIT training. It depends on the intensity that you want to go today, and you can change it as you go along. All right, let's go ahead and do some little circles, arms straight out. Nice tight little circles going forward. And let's go backwards. Alrighty. All right, let's come back to center. Let's go ahead and drive our knee to our elbow just to warm it up. If your knee doesn't make it all the way to your elbow, that's fine. Just try to cross your body, get some twisting motion with your body. All right, let's do a couple more of these. All right, back to center. Let's do some lateral lunges. Just go as deep as your body will take you. Again, we're just warming up here. Just getting your body ready for exercise. Warming up the joints. As you do these, your body might be able to get lower and lower as your flexibility increases as you warm up those joints and muscles. All right, a couple more here. And rest. All right, in 30 seconds, we'll get started. If you need to go ahead and start your watch. If you're recording this at home, remember if it isn't recorded, it doesn't count for some of us. So if that pertains to you, make sure you turn on your watch there. All right. For our first exercise, we're going to do a lateral ape. Now you can do this lateral ape from an elevated position as well. So go ahead and put your hands in front of you or putting them off to the side and hopping your body off to the side. So go ahead and start that if you're able to. I'm going to show you a modification for that. So you can use a bucket and just bring your legs side to side, or a heavy piece of furniture or a chair, whatever you have. We're working on keeping those knees a little bit bent when we're elevated and moving side to side. Do what you can, even if you have to do it standing. That'd be perfectly fine. But for those of us getting ready for something else, let's get into that ape position. We're working a bunch of different joints as we do these lateral apes. And rest. All right, we're coming down onto the ground. For this one, we're going to do leg extensions. So you can do this sitting as well. So I'm going to go on my elbows today. I'm going to put my hands right about at my glutes, bring my knees in, and extend your legs out. Bring them in and out. Good. Keep doing that. It's easier if you go higher. It's a lot harder if you keep it nice and low. This is definitely one you do not have to do fast. You can keep this nice and slow. Really feel those on your thighs. Really feel those in your lower back. Keep that lower back tight. And in your core. 20 seconds to go. Don't forget to breathe. And rest. All right, we're back up to our feet. We're going to do sumo squats next. So for sumo squats, we're going to turn our feet out. We're going to track our knees over our feet. All right, you can put your hands wherever you need to, but bring those knees over your feet, off to the side just a little bit. If you wrap your thumbs around your hips, you should be able to feel your glutes engage as you go up and down. You can put a little hop into this if you really want to. That'll make it way more intense. I really felt it was way more intense just by doing 2 little hops there. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right. Next, we're going to get into plank position. Now, you can do a plank elevated. Go ahead and get in your plank position wherever you need to, and I'll explain as we go. You can go elevated plank. You can do it off of a chair or even off of a wall if you need to. So, wherever you need to go for this plank, go ahead and do it. I'm going to go for a full plank. And then what we're going to do, what I'd like you to try to do, if you're able to, and you keep your body nice and steady, turn, drop your hip. Turn, drop your hip. Turn, drop your hip. Keep that body nice and stiff. Really working your core, really working those twisting muscles in your core, in your legs. 15 seconds. And if you can't do this hip dip, that's perfectly fine. Just keep it in plank position. And rest. Woo. All right, we are going to get down on the ground for this next one. Another core exercise. So what we're going to do here is we're going to basically put our hands on our chest, put our knees up, and then rotate, tap your elbows to your knees as they rotate side to side. All right, another core exercise. Keep that back on the ground as you roll from right to left and back. You can extend your legs as far as you want. the further you extend those, the more you're gonna get engaged. And again, you can do this from a chair too if you need to. Whew, this is a tough one. Lots of bird activity today. All right. Whew. All right, next we're gonna do dips. So for most of us, we can go into crab position. If you like to go off of a chair, go ahead and put your hands right on the edge of the chair, and we're gonna dip down and bring it up. Dip it down, bring it up. All right, you don't need to go very far. Just get those elbows pointing backwards. So we want to point the elbows backwards, straighten them up, back, and straight. According to the bird report this morning, 1.4 million birds went over the particular county that I live in last night, which is incredible. Just a little factoid for today. All right, 20 seconds. Make sure you get those elbows pointing backwards. You should really feel the burn in your triceps. And rest. All right, we're gonna stay on the ground. And you can do this from an elevated position as well. We're gonna do up and down dog. So we're gonna start in plank position. Not plank position, but pike position. Inch your arms forward a little bit. We're gonna drop the hips, raise the chin, come back up, and bring it back down. Really working your core, working those shoulder muscles. Woo. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right. We are going to get up for this one. Let's go ahead and stand up nice and straight. Get your legs about hip distance apart. And as you fold forward, I want you to reach forward. Try to keep that back as flat as you can. Bend the knees just a little bit. You should really feel those muscles in your hamstrings really working, especially in this position. And they need to work, again, to bring that body straight up. Bring it out. And bring it up. Extend those arms, open up those fingers, bring it back up. And rest. All right, our last exercises are get-ups. So what's a get-up, you might ask? We're gonna get all the way down to the ground. You can also do this from a chair where you're just standing up and down out of a chair, depending on your mobility level. So we're gonna start from here. Use whatever means you need to do to get to a full standing position, and then bring it back down. This may seem like a very atypical exercise, but if you think about it, you practice going from the floor to a stand That's going to give you a practice for the times that you are on the floor. Maybe that's with grandchildren. Maybe that's with kids. Maybe that's because you dropped the remote underneath the couch. Or you have to sweep underneath the couch. Or you're finished with the barbed wire at a race and you need to get up. All right. All right, round one completed. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink if you need to. If you want to go ahead and center yourself, wind down the breathing a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Put that smile on your face. Take these next 20 seconds. Like I said before, think about something that you're grateful for as we take this rest between sets. All right, we're ready for round number 2. Again, lateral ape is first. So from this position, hands to the side, hop them over. Hands to the side, hop it over. And again, if you need to go elevated onto a chair and hop side to side, depending on your mobility, go ahead and do that. All right? We need to make this work for you. So take the minute, pick which one of these modifications that you need to do so you can make it a whole minute. This is a really multi-jointal exercise, working our wrist, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, knees, and toes. You know the song. All right, 5 seconds. All right, we're off to leg extensions. So again, you can do these leg extensions from a chair as well. You just need to get to a safe place, hold on, and extend those legs. So you can also do leg extensions by putting your hands underneath your tailbone, bringing your back onto the mat or the floor, extending those legs forward and backwards. Really working our core on this one. And again, the lower you go, the harder it is. The higher you go, the easier it is. All right, let's go, let's go. Chickadees are cheering us on here. Don't forget to breathe. 15 seconds. Whoop. All right, back to our feet. All right, we got sumo squats next. So get your feet slightly turned out to the side. All right, bring those knees over your toes. Track the knees over the toes. And again, you can go as deep as you can on this one. You should be a little bit more flexible than you were in the first round, so you should be able to dip a little bit lower. And remember, if you're watching this on a replay, you can do just one set, you can do 2 sets, you can do all 3 sets, whatever you have time for. Some movement is better than no movement. And rest. All right, next is our plank hip dips. Or if you can just do a plank, then just do a plank, that's fine. Whichever plank you need to do, knee plank, full plank, wall plank, elevated plank. Any of those things is fine. All right, ready and go. My challenge to you as always, take one or two of these exercises that you learned today or that you know about. Do them throughout the day. Maybe every hour, maybe every couple hours. Whatever you remember. Remind your body to stay active during the day. Helps with joint mobility. Allows you better to be able to do the things that you really want. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, next we're going to go on to the ground. Some of you might be familiar with this one as bicycle crunches or knee to elbow. Go ahead and rotate your body, elbow to the knee, elbow to the knee. Really works your rotational core muscles. Whew, it's a tough one. All right, 20 seconds. Whew. Wow. That one's tough. All right, so next we're gonna do crab dips, chair dips, whatever dips you wanna do today. All right, do these off of a chair, but you're dipping your body back or dipping your elbows back behind you. And as you go up and down, you should really feel those triceps really engaging. All right, let's go, let's go. All right, 20 seconds. Feel the burn in those triceps. Woo. And rest. Woo. All right, we got up and down dog next. So we're flipping over. And again, you can do this elevated as well. Let's get into pike position. And bring your body down, bring your hips down. Try not to touch your legs. And bring it back up. This one definitely doesn't have to be fast. You can keep it nice and controlled. Let those core muscles work. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right, we are back up to our feet. Next thing we're doing is deadlifts with a reach. So you're getting those legs about hip distance apart, leaning forward, bending those knees slightly, and reaching forward. When you reach forward, you really should feel those hamstring muscles working. So from the side, it looks like this. All right, you got this. 20 seconds. And rest. All right, we got get-ups last. So again, we're getting up and down off the ground. You can just go from a sitting position. You can go from a chair from a sitting position and get up, or you can lay all the way down. Ready? And go. This is the end. Round number 2. After we're done with these get-ups. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right. All right, all right. All right, let's take a little break. Grab yourself a drink. Work on your breathing a little bit. Center your heart rate. Decrease your heart rate as you breathe in nice and deeply. Heighten your senses as you sit. Think about what you're hearing. Think about what you're seeing. About what you're tasting. Feel that air coming in and out of your nose or your mouth. All right, we got our last set coming up. All right, let's get into ape position. All right, last round, and go. Again, moving your hands, hop over. Moving your hands, hop it over. All right, 30 seconds. This is our last lateral apes. Again, a fun challenge is do this ape crawl to the bathroom once today. That'll be a challenge. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, we're down on the ground for leg extensions. I'm going to do those off my elbows this time. All right. Knees to your chest, all the way out. Last set's going to get a little bit harder, especially for some of these exercises that are more challenging. 20 seconds. All right, and rest. We're up for sumo squats. Whoop. All right, angle our feet off to the right and left. Track those knees over the toes. Ready, and go. And again, you can do these as fast or as slow as you need to. You should really notice at this third set that you have a little bit more flexibility than you did on the first couple sets. Maybe get a little bit lower. Don't forget to breathe. All right. 10 seconds. And rest. Nice. Plank hip dips are next. Let's get in the plank position. Or if you need to stay in plank position for the whole minute, that is fine. You can even go to a knee plank if you need to. All right, that'll be perfectly fine. It's hard to do a hip dip on a knee plank though, so you have to stay static on that one. All right, let's do it. All right, 20 seconds, you can make it. Keep that plank nice and straight. Straight line from your ankles all the way up to your shoulders. Hips should be in line, knees should be in line, shoulders should be in line. Keep those hands right underneath your shoulders for support. And rest. All right, let's flip it over. Bicycle crunches or knee to elbow crunches. Whew. All right, onto your back. Keep that back nice and planted into the ground. Arms across your chest. And hit those knees going across. Whew, this is tough on the back. All right, 25 seconds. And rest. Woo! You know, it's a little harder for me when I shut up. All right, next we're on to either chair dips or crab dips. And again, if you have access to a chair, you can go a little bit deeper. But again, important thing to remember on this one is elbows going backwards. So you can really work those triceps. We're getting there. We got this. All right, 10 seconds. You can make it. This is a tough one too. Whew. Those triceps are really small, so whenever you engage them with a lot of weight, even when it's your own body weight, that's a tough one. All right, next we got up and down dog. Let's get into that pike position. Whoop. And drop the hips to the ground. Keep it nice and smooth. All right, we got this. All right, let's get back to our feet. Whew, getting a little warm here. All right, we're doing our deadlifts with the reach. Remember, legs about hip distance, hinge at the hips, reach the arms out. Keep it nice and smooth. All right, 10 seconds. Turkey vulture just showed up. That's not a good sign. And rest. All right, we're down on the ground for our last exercise, which is a get up. All right, ready? And go. Remember the usefulness for this one. Never know when we're going to be on the ground. Out of necessity or out of play. So we should practice. All right, 15 seconds. You got time for 2 more? And rest. Awesome job. Woo woo! You did it! All right, if you need to take a drink, go ahead and do so. We're going to stretch out a little bit. So, get your legs a little bit further than hip distance apart. All right, roll the shoulders back, interlock the fingers, stretch it straight up. Really get a super long elongation from your knees, through your hips, up through your abdomen, up through your fingers. Go ahead and use your eyes to follow your hands. Keep them up. Get a full stretch on your whole body. Let's go ahead and lean it over to the one side. Straighten it back up and to the other side. Tip mice are getting angry. I know what's going on over there. All right. Bring your legs in a little closer. Let's roll out our hips. So nice and slow, we're going to roll out all of our leg muscles as we go around. So keep it nice and smooth and slow. All right, roll it out the other way. All right, so next I want you to put your hands on your knees. Okay, I want you to come up. I want you to get full extension of your whole body. So chest out, arms back. Pinch your shoulder blades. Push out your hips. Everything extended. Get everything a good stretch. Bring it back in. Do it again. Nice good stretch on your whole body. Full extension. Gaze up a little bit. All right, let's go back to center. Let's roll out our shoulders. All right, roll them the other way. All right, we did it. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is Coach Steve. You can follow my content by hitting the follow button at the bottom if you're watching the replay. And again, thank you so much for coming. I'm grateful that all of you are here. Remember to think about gratefulness as you go throughout your day, especially since you got here and you got your movement in for today. And again, my challenge to you is to do a couple of these exercises throughout the day. Keep your body active. Remind it that you are an active human being and that you want it to be ready for anything. Let's go.